Good morning and thanks for being with us. You're with the news here on Mirror Now. My name is Apurva Sridhar. Let's get you all the updates now coming in with the super cyclone Amphan, which is all set to make a landfall today, mostly post-noon. Now, the landfall is expected to take place between West Bengal's Dhiga and the Hatiya island in Bangladesh. In fact, in the latest bulletin, the IMD has said that the cyclone is centered as an extremely severe cyclonic storm over the North-West Way of Bengal. The wind speed is somewhere around 180 kilometers per hour. As per the officials, the coastal districts of the north and the 24th South Parganas, East Midnapur, including the Sundarbans in West Bengal, face a serious threat of flooding and significant damage to life and property. Let me go across to my colleague Afrida, who's joining me live, getting us all the updates now coming in. Afrida, good morning. Over to you for the latest at this point to understand the path and the trajectory of the storm.
Right, absolutely. You must understand, of course, Apurva, that, the fact that this super cyclone is developing, typically this happens when low pressure systems over warm tropical waters develop. And then, of course, it whips up a lot of winds that can extend over hundreds of kilometers. So that is what we are looking at as we talk about super cyclone Amphan. Now, what I want to actually show you are live pictures that can be accessed through the Regional Specialized Meteorological Center for Tropical Cyclones. And if we can open out that map for you, what you will see there is the eye of the storm. Now, remember, this is a live link, a live picture, and that just shows how the eye of the storm, where exactly it is located. There is some basic information that is there at the moment on where the cyclone is centered at the moment. So the super cyclone Amphan is centered at 8:30 hours in this morning on 20th of May 2020 as an extremely severe cyclonic storm developing over the North-West Bay of Bengal. Now, where exactly this is, just a couple of pointers on that. 120 kilometers nearly east and southeast of Paradeep, 200 kilometers nearly south of Dhiga. So that is the reference we can use in terms of where it is centered right now. In terms of intensity, 170 to 180 kilometers per hour, gusting to 200 kilometers per hour. So that is the status of the storm. That is how it is developing, and like you said, it's likely to make a landfall sometimes this afternoon. The timing that has been shared by IMD is around 2:30 p.m. In fact, also, Apurva, important to note here is the kind of damage that this cyclone can cause. Yes, over to you.
Absolutely. In fact, that is going to be a very crucial aspect at this point because, Afrida, we know that this is perhaps one of the worst storms over the Bay of Bengal in years that is going to hit Bengal this afternoon. On that front, what is the extent of damage that is anticipated because of this storm?
Yes, like I said, you can just imagine the way this whips up the winds, and because it develops as a low pressure system over warm tropical waters, it sucks up a lot of water, which is then released as torrential rains. So what we are looking at in terms of what causes the damage is catastrophic storm and, of course, tsunami-like flooding once it makes a landfall. Typically, that is the pattern. Now, what can it do? Of course, it can damage crops, it will damage houses, it will disrupt power. It can, of course, also severely disrupt communication lines. Now, that is what typically happens when we are faced with a storm like this. There are power outages, there are electricity disruptions. That is another damage that we can expect and anticipate. Low-lying areas are likely to be inundated. Now, this entire area around the Bay of Bengal would be vulnerable. This is the low-lying area, and they are prone to cyclones. They are vulnerable to cyclones over the years. And remember, this is the second super cyclone that we are looking at over the Bay of Bengal in the last 2 decades. The last one happened in 1999, and the number of lives lost in that super cyclone was 10,000. Let's hope that with the technology developing and infrastructure becoming better and forecast more accurate, let's hope that this time around the preparations to save lives, to evacuate people on time will be better. Back to you.
All right, Afrida, appreciate you joining us and giving us an overall understanding of the cyclone Amphan. In fact, my colleague Tamal sent us this ground report from West Bengal's Bakkhali area. Take a look.
Extremely severe cyclone Amphan is still in the sea, but is expected to make a landfall sometime in the afternoon today. It is expected to make a landfall somewhere near Sundarbans of the state of West Bengal. Thus, South 24 Parganas has been put on high alert. North 24 Parganas, Howrah, Hooghly, Kolkata, East Midnapur have all been put on high alert. The extremely severe cyclone Amphan, as it makes a landfall, is expected to have a gale speed of 155 to 170 kilometers per hour. At the same time, it can gust up to 190 kilometers per hour. The state government is monitoring the situation very closely. The NDRF, the SDRF, the disaster management team of the state, the power department are all working on the ground, and the advisory which has been issued to people that people should stay at home under no circumstances should they venture out. The sea behind me is extremely turbulent and possibly has the bearing of the extremely severe cyclone Amphan, which is still in the sea and possibly also carries the alternate signs of what is there in the store as the day unfolds. The extremely severe cyclone Amphan is expected to be accompanied with heavy rainfall in several parts of the state of West Bengal. Several shelter camps have been opened. More than 3 lakh people have been evacuated and taken to shelter homes. And the advisory is, even though the entire state, the country is grappling with the COVID crisis, and now when the cyclone is there, knocking at the doors, people should maintain as much safety as possible, and social distancing should be followed, masks should be worn, and even if you do not have a sanitizer available or handy, try and use water to wash your hands as much as possible. This cyclone possibly will be over in a day's time.
Now, right now, massive preparations are being made in the wake of the super cyclone in order to evacuate at least 3 lakh people who've been around the West Bengal area. And one of the worst affected areas going to be West Bengal at this point, and hence the evacuation process has already begun. Now, around 100 cyclone shelters are spread across the coastal districts of Bengal. In Odisha, over 1 lakh people have been evacuated. Over 1,700 shelter camps have already been set up.
मैं एनडीआरएफ की तरफ से सभी स्थानीय समुदाय को ये संदेश देना चाहता हूं, और हम लोग पब्लिक अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम भी चला रहे हैं कि तूफ़ान आने से पहले आप अपने घरों में जो आपके मोबाइल फ़ोन हैं या जितने भी ऐसे इक्विपमेंट हैं जिनको चार्जिंग की आवश्यकता है, उनको पूरी तरह से चार्ज करके रखें। समाचार पत्रों पर विश्वास करें, जो दूरसंचार के माध्यम है, जिनसे समाचार प्रसारित किया जा रहा है, उन पर विश्वास करें। किसी प्रकार के अफवाह में मत रहें। अपने घरों में सुरक्षित रहें। 2-3 दिन का सुरक्षित पानी, सुरक्षित खाद्य पदार्थ इकट्ठा कर लें, जैसे कि किसी वजह से आपको बाहर आ सके। आपके पास जो भी आवश्यक चीज़ें हैं, चाहे वो एटीएम कार्ड हो, चाहे आधार कार्ड हो, या किसी प्रकार की कोई ऐसी चीज़ें हैं, उसको एक जगह पर एकत्रित करके किसी पॉलीथीन का पैकेट बनाकर सुरक्षित जगह पर रख दें।